One question that I keep reading in many expats groups is, what can I do for income in Ghana? Are there jobs available and things like that? Oftentimes I search for a clear, direct, and objective answer, and I have not been able to pinpoint an answer that can clearly guide you and give me a practical resolve. Well, as promised, in this episode of The Return, I will dedicate quite some time sharing with you how I established my business and took on additional business projects. Greetings, everyone. I'm Ponce Ferguson. As I share what sort of things I had to do, I will also share some important information for you to take note of and be able to position yourself to begin your entrepreneurial journey in Ghana. So, the very first thing that I found myself doing was deciding what type of business I wanted to establish. One thing that I found very helpful was literally hopping on a trotro, roaming around Accra, from Medina to Pantang to Legon Hills to Matoka Market, to wherever. Most of the time, I was on foot. Like, I walk a lot, lost a lot of weight, looking good at some point. Anyways, after a long time of research and many discussions with friends and relatives, I settled on the idea of opening a cold store and provisions. That was not my first option since I'm a vegan, but I'm glad I did. I opened Ponchel's Cold Store and Provisions on June 23rd of this year, located right at the Baoleshi Junction on the Dodowa Road. And like I said, I'm glad I decided to open this type of business because at this particular location, there was no store like this. It is a busy intersection and things are going well, thank God. After that, I basically had to get my Ghana card. At the moment, I had my permit, my visa, actually. I had my visa. And so just with your visa, anywhere you go, you're not able to get into business or anything like that. So what I did is I went down to the Ghana Immigration Service, and I applied for my resident permit, and I got it within a week or two, I think. Took my passport, paid the fees and everything else. The very next thing was I needed to get my GRA number or identification number. That's the Ghana Revenue Agency, sort of like the IRS for us here, where you have to get your TIN number or your business number and things like that. So I got I went to GRA, and that very same day I got my GRA number. Then the next thing I did after that was, or I think it was before the GRA or after, was to register the business. So I went all the way downtown to Accra and registered at the Registrar General's department, where I registered my business. I looked and make sure that Ponchel's was not taken, the name, that no one else was using that name, that it was clear to use, which it was. Hence, that's the name of my business. My wife actually was the one that registered it, went down to the registrar's office to register it. After we registered the business, next thing that I did was I went to open a bank account. And I recommend that at some point, if you haven't already done so, if you're new to the scene, that once you get your resident permit and your GRA number, that the next thing that you do is to go and open a bank account. Put $100 so that you can actually open an account. I have an account at Fidelity Bank. Fidelity and Cal Bank, I understand, are very good. Cal Bank is a very good bank as well. Fees are low as far as the maintenance fees and things like that. These banks, I should do a disclaimer here. These banks are not supporting this podcast in any way. But because I've had good experience with them, I recommend them. And there are other banks in Ghana that you can actually look into, and you can also support. So once you open that, the next thing that you want to do, what I found myself doing is, I had to settle on the type of location, right? Once I had the business name, once I had my GRA resident permit and all of that, I had to look for a location. I already knew what type of business, right? That's the first thing. I already knew what type of business that I wanted to do. So I had to look for a location so that I can then prepare the location. Here in the States, we say location, location, location is very important, and that is true, I think, anywhere in this world where you go. So you want to make sure that depending on the type of business that you are in, that it is in a busy junction or an intersection, or that it is accessible to your clients and that it is visible as well. Do as much as you can for your business to be visible, to be seen, so that you can have a good experience in your line of duty. You might find yourself that you're in your line of work, it might be just providing services. You might not be need a location. You could work out of your living room, depending on the type of services that you might want to offer. But if you are going to be selling things on, like me, for example, like a cold store, or you want to sell clothes or have a boutique or whatever, and you need a location, just make sure that you do due diligence, do your little research, go around, look and ask questions, so that you can find the right place. Now, before I continue, please, 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 don't forget to subscribe and to like and follow me on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Remember that you can find me also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and wherever you get your favorite podcasts. So now that you have your location, right? You've gone around, look and this and that, ask questions and everything else. It's time to prepare your location, right? You've got, if like me, you have a place where you are going to be selling things, you want to make sure that you prepare it nice and neat, and that it's amenable for people to actually stop by and buy your whatever products you are. So the next step that you want to do, you want to actually prepare your place. You want to prepare your location. And one of the things that I said earlier, you want to make sure that it is accessible to your clients, that there is no obstacles for in front of or around your place of business, so that people can find it easily and find it accessible enough. Another thing, you want to hire your employees. Again, depends on the type of business that you are actually in. You do not want to, if you are providing just services where all you need is just yourself and a laptop or a computer, then you may not need to hire anybody. In my case, because of the type of business, I had to hire a couple folks to work at the business. And the other thing that I encourage is to hire locals. Again, as you get familiar with the place, with your community, make sure that you find yourself in the company of people who you can trust, people who you can depend on. I was able, thank God, to find that into my two employees who are keeping up the store while I'm here in the United States. You have your location. You have it well stocked. If you have a business place, you have your employees. Everything is already set in place. While all of that, you are doing all of that, one thing that I suggest is to promote your store. And there's no better way to promote your store than to have your own employees. Yourself, you could be a good promoter of your business. One thing that I find myself doing also is I created a Facebook page for my store, Instagram, and all of that. I use my own Instagram account and everything to promote the business. One of my employees, she was very well known in the area, so just by word of mouth, she went out about her daily business before actually coming on board as a full-time staff. Our employee, she made some good promotion of the business, and I am thankful to her. I'm thankful to God that it is doing well. So you want to promote your business. That is going to be key in the success of your business, I think. Now, after all of that, then open for business, sell and enjoy. And I say enjoy because you didn't move all the way from the United States to Ghana, to Accra, to just have a bad time or anything, right? You are not going to move here to establish business and then be miserable, right? Who is going to do that? Nobody, right? I didn't, certainly. So learn the culture, the system. Do not isolate yourself from the locals. Engage, become a part of your community. And like I said earlier, enjoy, have fun, and above all things, don't forget who you are and your purpose in Ghana and in life. Thank you, and we'll see you next time. Please, 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 don't forget to subscribe and to like and follow me on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Remember that you can find me also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and wherever you get your favorite podcasts.